Hi guys, it's Noel again from Lander Adventures, if you may. It's been a while, and I know there's a lot of you who have been waiting to the follow-up review of this RLD design canopy that I have in the truck. I apologize in advance because some of you might know that I work in the healthcare industry, and there's been a lot of changes, there's been a lot of restrictions this past few months, and I know everybody has been affected by this pandemic. So but now that we're able to come out, and there's been a handful of materials that I have been compiling, so I can give you guys an honest review of this canopy. So I guess right now we're on an undisclosed location, but I'm not going to talk about this place. It's an awesome area that we found, because we're going to talk about the RLD design canopy. Moving on, just so everybody know, I am also using this truck as my daily driver. So I work 5 days a week, but pretty much the truck is running 7 days a week, either in paved road or out in the trail, either hitting some off-road trails or finding some dispersed camping sites. So yep, it was installed or purchased September 2019, and the very first thing that went up there is the top rack, and the RTT that I have at that time is the Go FSR, which I eventually switched to the iCamper. And then the ARB awning would be the last item that goes up top, and from that point I have been using the truck in the same configuration, and on the trails. We usually do dispersed camping, so that's pretty much where or I use the truck. So I'm also showing here some of the trails that we've been frequenting or we've been going to, just so you have an idea how I drive the truck, what kind of terrains I have been with it in that configuration. And I think it would be worth mentioning that during these trips there were no issues whatsoever that I have encountered with the canopy. So it was bolted the same way. The very first day it was bolted on a truck. This is actually one thing that I was skeptical about from the get-go, but it didn't move at all. It's still intact. It's still, like I said, it's bolted in the same position. I made some markings from the get-go. The bolts didn't move. The canopy didn't move from the bed, so it was solid. From this point forward, the videos that you will see will be or was taken from the most recent trip that we had a week ago. We did camped in 5 different dispersed campsites for 5 nights, and during the day we did a tremendous amount of off-roading. And the main reason I'm showing you all these videos before I finalize the review is to give you an idea how I am behaving out there as far as driving is concerned, because I think that is very vital information to know in order to gauge how the RLD design canopy actually did perform out there under the circumstances that I put it through. So I'm gonna lay off the voiceover at this time so you can listen to the sound of the road as well. Now, for this last video clip, I just wanted to show you this is another incline that we needed to go through because this is the only exit from the off-road trail that we went to, so we need to navigate this. The video doesn't show how steep it is or it was, but it was steep going up and more importantly going down. So I'm not a hardcore rock crawler, or neither my rig was set up for that um, as well. So I am just an overlander who sometimes wants to go to some trails that my wife would consider that I'm not supposed to be going to, taking into consideration the rig I had. But anyway, she was with me during this trip, so you would probably hear us squeal and kind of, hold our breath or whatnot while we were navigating this. Now, like I was saying, the uphill climb is not as bad as going down, and you will see it just about right now. Um, so this is a little bit of a ledge, if you may, and this will be the final um, downhill drive, if you may. It's probably a 3 or 4 car length, but it was so steep that me and my wife kind of held our breath for a while. And I'd like to point out something so you can gauge how steep it was. I have pods um, right by my windshield, two of them. They're both spots, and they were on at that time that we were going down. So you will see it shining on the ground just about now. So for that pod's light, you know, um, being on the ground, you would know how how high our rear end is going down. So it was pretty scary, but we we've gone through it safely, thankfully. Um, and but again, this is not to showcase the um, the trip that we went through. This is just to show again what we have been doing and where have we been going with the canopy in its current configuration. So overall, I am very much impressed. The RLD canopy did held up pretty well and exceeded my expectations. See, I may have said I am impressed, but this too looks like they're not impressed at all. So why don't we look at why these two hairy friends of mine are not impressed? There are considerable dust accumulations towards the back of the bed. This was taken after the 5-day trip that we just took a week ago. So this is when I got home, when I'm about to unload my gear. So this is how much dust that was accumulated during that 5-day trip. Now, towards the upper part, because I have two shelvings in the bed of the truck, and the inner part of the bed, there were less dust. So my conclusion is most of the dust are coming from the gap between the truck bed and the tailgate. And some of them might have come from the break on the gasket of on the canopy's back door, because the rubber gasket that surrounds the canopy obviously has a break on the back for us to be able to open the door. So that's also another point wherein the dust could come in. Hence, the accumulation, like I said, is concentrated towards the back of the truck. Now, is that a deal breaker for me? No. I still like the canopy. I'm still impressed, and I would still recommend it to my friends or whoever is interested in getting a canopy for whatever purpose or reason they have. Hi guys, so that concludes our review, our 1 year review of the RLD design canopy. Um, I have something here that I believe is important to include in the review. So obviously the dust, there is a dust intrusion, so water is also able to get in there the same way as the dust did. Yeah, through the cracks on the brick on the rubber gasket that surrounds the canopy, and between the gap between the tailgate and the truck bed. So it's minimal. It's not an issue as far as I'm concerned. It didn't get my stuff soaked or wet, if you may. It's just noticeable that there are water in the back of the truck as well. Another important thing to mention, RLD Design has put up what they call a positive pressure vent on the forward section on the roof of the canopy. That hasn't been opened at all since I have been using the canopy, because my rooftop tent sits very close on the roof of the canopy, so I'm not able to open it, just so you know. So would that help? Could that have helped? Maybe, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how to keep it open, maybe wedge something in between the vent cover and the roof. So I may have to do that sometime, and I'll let you know if there's any changes. The exterior finish or paint of the canopy is very tough. I have been in situations wherein it rubs on branches, like during tight turns and whatnot, brushes. I'll get some pinstriping, but they easily rubs off during cleaning. So it's perfect. Now, condensation is minimal. There was one time that I slept inside the truck bed for some reason, and in the morning I noticed that there is a minimal condensation, not bothersome, and as far as I'm concerned, again, it's not an issue. So yeah, that's pretty much it, and I hope you like the video. I hope it will give you an idea, or it will now give you a better understanding if this RLD canopy is for you or not. So if you have any questions, please let me know down in the comments, and I will definitely be very, very glad and happy to respond and give you my opinion, if you may, based on my experience. So thank you very much for watching. If you have not subscribed to the channel yet, I would appreciate it so much if you will, because I'll be posting some of my outdoor experiences every now and then, just for informational purposes. And if you happen to like the video, please click on the thumbs up as well. All right guys, thank you very much, and be safe out there.